3 and 2 makes 5. 5 makes 10, and 10 makes 20. On the 24th, a little purgation, preparatory and emulant, to soften up, moisten, and refresh the gentleman's bowels, 30 sous. What I like about my apothecary, Monsieur Flairant, is that his bills are always very civil. The gentleman's bowels, 30 sous. But being civil isn't everything. You've got to be reasonable too, and not fleece your patients. 30 sous for a purgation. You put them down in my other bills for only 20 sous. And 20 sous in apothecary's language means 10 sous. On that same day, in the evening, a hepatic, soporific, and somniferous julep compounded to put the gentleman to sleep. 3 francs. I have no complaints about that one, for it made me sleep well. So this month, I have taken 8 doses of medicine and 12 purgations. And last month, I took 12 doses of medicine and 20 purgations. No wonder I'm more sick this month than I was last. I'll tell Monsieur Purgon this, so that he'll set this right. Let's take this away. There's nobody here. No matter what I say, they always leave me alone. There's no way to keep them here. Toinette! Toinette! They're gonna leave me here to die. Oh.
Here I am.
Oh, you tramp. You hussy.
Ow, my head!
Oh, it's been an hour since you left. Would you be quiet and let me scold you?
My word, that's nice after what I've done to myself.
You made me shout myself hoarse.
And you made me bang my head. That's just as bad.
Take this away. Take this away. Did my purgation today work well?
Your purgation?
Yes. Did I produce plenty of bile?
I don't get mixed up in those affairs. Oh, it's up to Monsieur Flairant to poke his nose into it. He's the one that makes the profit, not me.
See that they have some hot water ready for the one I'm to take in a while.
That Monsieur Flairant and that Monsieur Purgon sure have a good milk cow in you. And I'd really like to ask them, what ails you for them to give you so many remedies?
Be quiet! It's not up to you to question the doctor's orders. Have my daughter Angelique sent in. I have something to say to her.
Here she comes of her own accord.
Oh.
She must have guessed what was on your mind.
You've come at a good time. I wanted to speak to you.
Here I am, ready to hear you.
Oh. Give me my stick. I'll be right back.
Oh, go quick, sir, go. You see, Monsieur Flairant gives us plenty of business to do.
Toinette,
What?
look at me a minute.
I'm looking at you.
Toinette,
Well, what? Toinette?
don't you guess what I want to talk about?
Oh, I have a pretty good suspicion about our young suitor, for it's about him all our conversations have been for 6 days.
I confess to you that I couldn't possibly tire of talking about him, that my heart warmly takes advantage to open itself to you. But tell me, Toinette, do you condemn the feelings I have for him?
Oh, I wouldn't dream of it.
Am I wrong to abandon myself to these sweet impressions?
I would never say that.
Don't you agree with me in seeing something providential, some act of destiny in the unforeseen way we became acquainted?
Yes.
And don't you think the act of coming to my defense without knowing me is the mark of a really gallant gentleman?
Yes.
And that it's impossible to act more nobly.
Oh, indeed.
But, Toinette, don't you think he's good looking?
Yeah, actually.
And that he has the nicest manners in the world?
Beyond a doubt.
And there's nothing more irritating than the constraint I'm kept in, which blocks all communication of the sweet transports of our mutual ardor that heaven inspires in us.
Yeah, okay.
But tell me, Trinette, do you think he loves me as much as he tells me he loves me?
Those things are sometimes subject to caution. Love's grimaces are a lot like the real thing, and I've seen some great actors in that field.
Oh, Toinette, what are you saying with the way he talks? Is it really possible that he isn't telling me the truth?
In any case, you'll soon be enlightened about that. And his resolution that he wrote you to ask for your hand in marriage, that's a quick way to let you know whether he's telling the truth or not. That will be the real proof of it. Oh, here's your father coming back.
Daughter, I'm going to tell you something that you may not be expecting. Your hand is being requested in marriage. What's that? You're laughing. The word marriage is amusing, yes. There's nothing more laughable for girls. From what I can see, I have no need to ask if you're willing to get married.
It is for me, Father, to follow all your wishes blindly.
I'm very glad to have such an obedient daughter. So the matter is settled, and I have promised your hand.
Father, I must do whatever you are pleased to order me to.
My wife, your stepmother, wanted me to make you a nun, and your little sister Louisanne as well. She's been set on that all along.
That innocent creature has her reasons.
She wouldn't consent to this marriage, but I want out, and my word is given.
Ah, Father, how grateful I am for all your goodness.
In truth, sir, I'm grateful to you for that as well. 'Cause it's the most sensible thing you've done in your life.
I haven't yet seen the person, but I've been told that I'd be pleased with him. And you too.
Certainly, Father.
Have you seen him?
Since your consent authorizes me to open my heart to you, I shall not hesitate to tell you that chance made us acquainted 6 days ago, and that the request made of you is the effect of the inclination which was formed for each other at first sight.
They didn't tell me that, but I'm very glad of it. They say he's a tall, nice-looking young man.
Yes, Father.
Well-built.
Undoubtedly.
Personally attractive.
Yes.
Sensible and well-born.
Absolutely.
A very fine chap.
As fine as can be.
And speaking both Latin and Greek.
That I don't know.
And he'll be accepted as a doctor in 3 days.
He, Father?
Yes. Didn't he tell you so?
No, really. Who told you?
Monsieur Pergon.
Does Monsieur Pergon know him?
Indeed he must know him, since he's Monsieur Pergon's nephew.
Cleante? Monsieur Pergon's nephew?
What Cleante? We're talking about the man for whom your hand has been asked in marriage.
Yes, indeed.
Well, he's Monsieur Pergon's nephew, son of his brother-in-law, the doctor, Monsieur Diafoirus. And the son's name is Thomas Diafoirus, not Cleante. We arranged that marriage this morning, Monsieur Pergon, Monsieur Fleurant, and I. And tomorrow, the prospective husband is brought to see me by his father. Oh, what's the matter? You look flabbergasted.
That, Father, is because I now know you were talking about one person and I understood you to mean another.
Sir, you could have made such a ludicrous plan. And with all the money you have, you'd like to marry your daughter to a doctor?
Yes. What business is it of yours, you impudent hussy?
Good Lord! Easy now. You start right in with invectives. Can't we reason together without getting into a temper? There now, let's talk gently. What is the reason, if you please, for this marriage?
My reason is that, seeing myself sick and infirm as I am, I want doctors as son-in-laws and relatives, as to be of good assistance against my illness, to have within my family the sources of the remedies I need, and to be within good reach of consultation and prescription.
Well, it's telling me a reason. But, sir, put your hand on your conscience. Are you sick?
Am I sick? Am I sick, you hussy?
Okay, fine. You're sick. But your daughter should marry a husband for herself. And since she's not sick, it's not necessary to give her a doctor.
It's for me that I'm giving her this doctor. A daughter with the right nature should be delighted to marry whatever is useful for her father's health.
Would you like me to give you a piece of advice as a friend?
What is this advice?
Not to think of this marriage.
And the reason?
The reason? That your daughter won't consent to it.
She won't consent to it?
No,
My daughter?
your daughter. She'll tell you she wants no part of your Monsieur Diafoirus, nor of his son, Thomas Diaphorus, nor of all the Diaphoruses in the world.
Well, I want them. Besides, the match is more advantageous than you think. Monsieur Pergon has only that nephew, and Thomas Diaphorus is the only heir of his father, and Monsieur Pergon will leave him his entire estate in view of this marriage. He has a good 8,000 francs a year of income.
Well, he must have killed a lot of people to get so rich.
8,000 francs a year is something, without counting the father's money.
All that is very well and good, but I still come back to my point. I advise you, between ourselves, choose another match for her. She's not cut out to be Madame Diaphorus.
I want that to be.
Don't say that.
What do you mean I shouldn't say that?
Why, no.
Why shan't I?
People will say you don't know what you're saying.
They'll say what they like, but I tell you, I want my daughter to carry out the promise I've given.
No, I'm sure she won't do it.
I'll darned well make her.
She won't do it, I tell you.
She'll do it or I'll put her in a convent.
You.
I.
Fine.
What do you mean, fine?
You won't put her in a convent?
I won't put her in a convent?
No.
Who'll stop me?
You, yourself.
I?
Yes. You won't have the heart to do it.
I will.
I tell you, fatherly affection will get the better of me.
It won't get the better of me.
2 arms around the neck, a tear or two, a tenderly uttered, "My poor, sick, little baby papa," will be enough to touch you.
All that won't do a thing.
Yes, yes.
I tell you, I won't back down.
Fiddlesticks.
You mustn't say fiddlesticks.
I know you. You're naturally good.
I am not good. I'm bad when I want to be.
Oh, gently, sir. You're forgetting that you're sick.
I absolutely command my daughter to take the husband that I say.
And I absolutely forbid her to do anything of the sort.
What are we coming to? And what kind of effrontery is that for a tramp of a maidservant to talk that way in front of her master?
When a master doesn't think what he's doing, a sensible servant has the right to correct him.
Oh, I'm going to brain you.
It's my duty to oppose anything that may dishonor you. Are you chasing me?
I'll teach you how to talk.
I'm concerned, as I should be, with not letting you do anything foolish.
Tramp.
No, I don't want her to marry a Thomas Diaphorus.
Gallows bait.
I'll never consent to the marriage.
Jade.
And you'll obey me rather than your father, right?
Won't you stop this hussy?
Oh, Father, don't make yourself sick.
If you don't stop her, I'll put my curse on you.
And I'll disinherit you if you obey him.
Oh, my wife, come here.
Oh, what's wrong, my poor husband?
Oh, come over here and help me.
What in the world is it, my sweet boy?
My darling.
My dearest.
They've just made me angry.
Alas, poor little hubby. How did it happen, my dear?
That scoundrelly Toinette of yours is more insolent than ever.
Then don't get excited.
She put me in a rage, darling.
Easy, sweet boy.
For 1 whole hour she opposed the things I want to do.
She's an impertinent hussy.
And she had the effrontery to tell me that I'm not sick.
There now, there now.
Oh, but you, sweetheart, know how it really is.
Yes, sweetheart, she's wrong.
My love, that tramp will be the death of me.
There now, there now.
She's the cause of all the bile I'm producing.
Then don't get so upset.
And I've been telling you for I don't know how long to dismiss her.
Good Lord, dear boy. There are no servants, men or women, who don't have their faults. Sometimes one is forced to put up with their bad qualities on account of their good ones. This one is careful, diligent, and above all faithful. And nowadays you need great precautions about the people you take on. Here now, Tinette.
Madame,
Why in the world do you make my husband angry?
Madame, alas, I don't know what you mean. All I think of is pleasing the master in all things.
You scoundrel!
He told us he wanted to give his daughter in marriage to the son of Monsieur Diaphorus. I answered that it would be an advantageous match for her, but that he'd do better to put her in a convent.
Oh, well, there's no great harm in that.
You believe her! She's a scoundrel!
Well-
She said all kinds of insolent things to me.
I believe you, my dear. There, pull yourself together. Listen, Tinette, if you ever make my husband angry, I'll put you out. Here, give me his fur-lined cloak and some pillows so I can get him comfortable in his chair. Get up. Let me put this one under you. Let's put this one here for you to lean on, and that one on the other side.
And this one to protect you from the evening dew!
You scoundrel! You're trying to smother me!
There now. Why? What's the matter?
Oh, I'm done for.
There, my little sweet. Calm down a bit.
My love, you don't know the malice of that she-devil. I'll need more than 8 doses of medicine and a dozen purgations to make up for all this.
She meant well.
No, she didn't.
Poor dear boy.
Oh, you're my only consolation. To try and show my gratitude for all the love you bear me, sweetheart, I wanted, as I told you, to make my will.
Oh, my darling, let's not talk about that. I beg you. I can't abide the thought of it, and the very word will makes me shudder with pain.
I had told you to speak to your notary about that.
There he is in there. I brought him with me.
Come here, Monsieur de Bonifay. Come here.
Oh, my darling, when someone truly loves her husband, she's in no condition to think about all that.
My wife told me you're a very able and a very reliable man and a quite good friend of hers. I asked her to speak to you about a will I want to make.
She explained to me your intentions and the plans you had for her. And on that note, I have this to say, that you can't give anything to your wife by your will.
But why not?
Kamala opposes it. If you're in a land of stature law, that could be done. But in Paris and a region of common law, that can't be done.
That's a mighty impertinent common law, that a man can't leave anything to a wife who loves him tenderly and takes such care of him. I'd like to consult my lawyer to see what I might do.
It's not lawyers you should go to, for ordinarily they're strict about those things, and imagine it's a great crime to deal with the law by fraud. There are others who are much more accommodating, who have experience for quietly getting around the law and doing something just that isn't permitted, who know how to smooth out the difficulties of an affair and find ways to elude the common law by some indirect advantage.
Indeed. My wife had told me you're a very able and a very reliable man. Tell me, if you please, how I might go about giving her my entire estate and keeping it from my children.
How can you go about it? You can quietly pick out some intimate friend of your wife to whom in your will you give all in due form, and then this friend will give everything back to her. Or while you're still alive, put ready cash in her hand, or notes made payable to the bearer.
Good Lord, you mustn't worry yourself about all that. If ever I don't have you, my poor dear boy, I don't want to stay in this world.
My dear wife.
Yes, if I'm unhappy enough to lose you.
Oh, my love.
Life won't mean a thing to me anymore.
Oh, my darling.
And I'll follow in your footsteps, so that you know the affection I have for you.
Console yourself. You're breaking my heart. I'd better make my will, my love, in the way the gentleman says. But as a precaution, I want to put in your hands 20,000 francs of gold and 2 notes payable to the bearer that are due me.
No, I don't want any of that at all. How much did you say there was in the alcove?
20,000 francs, my love.
Don't talk to me about money, I beg you. How much did you say those 2 notes were worth?
My love, one was for 4,000 and the other for 6.
All the money in the world is nothing to me compared with you, my dear.
Shall we proceed to the will?
Yes, but we'd better in my little study. Take me in, my love.
Oh, come on, my poor dear boy.
They're in there with the notary. I heard them talking about a will. Your stepmother isn't falling asleep, and no doubt it's some conspiracy against your interests that she's pushing your father into.
Let him dispose of his money as he likes, provided that he doesn't dispose of my heart. You see, Toinette, the plans they're making to do violence to it. Don't abandon me, I beg you, in the extremity I'm in.
I abandon you? I'd rather die. Your stepmother can make me her confidant, try to get me to work for her all she likes, but I've never been able to have any inclination for her, and I've always been on your side. Leave it to me. I'll do whatever I can to serve you. Actually, I have an idea. I'd like to cover up the zeal I have for you. Pretend to fall in with the feelings of your father and your stepmother.
Try, I beseech you, to let Cleante know about the marriage they arranged.
Angelique!
Good night. Rely on me. What do you want, sir?
What do I want?
Oh, it's you! What have you come here for?
To learn my destiny. Speak to the lovely Angelique. Inquire about the feelings of her heart. And to ask her what she has resolved about this fatal marriage I've been informed about.
Sure, but you don't speak point blank like that to Angelique. There have to be mysteries. Besides, we've taken excellent care not to speak of the adventure where you met.
Well, so I'm not coming as Cleante, and in the role of her sweetheart, but as a friend of her music teacher, who has authorized me to say that he's sending me in his place.
Who's her father? You go out for a bit, and I'll let him know that you're here.
Monsieur Pergon told me to take a walk in my room in the morning, 12 times up and back. But I forgot to ask him whether he meant lengthwise or crosswise.
Sir, there's...
Speak low. You're shaking up my whole brain. You forget you mustn't speak so loud to the sick.
I mean to tell you that...
Shh.
Okay. Sir,
What?
I tell you that...
What's that you say?
I tell you that there's a gentleman here asking to speak to you!
Then send him in.
Sir,
Whoa. Speak gently for fear of shaking up the master's brain.
sir, I'm delighted to find you up and around and to see that you're better.
What do you mean he's better? That's not true. The master is always ill.
I heard that the gentleman was better, and I think he looks well.
What do you mean he looks well? The master looks very badly. The people who told you were better don't know what they're talking about. He's never been so ill.
She's right.
He walks, and he sleeps, and he eats, and he drinks just like anybody else in the world. But that doesn't keep him from being very sick.
That's also true.
Sir, I'm terribly sorry. I've come on behalf of your daughter's singing teacher. He had to go to the country for a few days and sends me, as his intimate friend, in his place to continue her lessons for him.
Very well. Send her in.
Well, so I think it would be better if I took the gentleman to her room.
No, bring her here.
He won't be able to give her a lesson properly unless they're alone.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will.
No, he won't. And it will only deafen you.
I like music, and I'd be very glad. Oh, sounds like she's coming. Your music teacher has gone to the country for a few days, and here's someone he's sending in his place to teach you.
Heavens!
What is it? What?
It's a surprising coincidence I find here.
How's that?
I dreamed last night that I was in the worst predicament in the world, and that someone who looked exactly like this gentleman came and presented himself to me, and came and got me out of the trouble I was in. And my surprise was to see the same man upon arriving here.
That's no unhappy lot, to occupy your mind whether asleep or awake, and my happiness would unquestionably be great.
Sir, I take back all that I was saying yesterday. Here is Monsieur Duforest, the father, and his son, come to pay you a visit. How well son-in-law you're going to be. You're about to meet the handsomest young man in the world, and the wittiest. He only said 2 words, but they delighted me. And your daughter will maybe be charmed with him.
Please stay, sir. You see, I'm marrying off my daughter, and now they're bringing her prospective husband, whom she hasn't yet seen.
That's doing me great honor to want me to be a part of such a charming interview.
He's the son of an able doctor, and the marriage will take place in 4 days.
Very well.
Just tell your music teacher about it, so he'll be at the wedding.
I won't fail to.
And I'm inviting you, too.
You do me much honor.
Come, make room. Here they are.
Sir, Purgon has forbidden me to uncover my head. You're in the business, you know the consequences.
In all our visits, we are there to bring help to the sick and not bring them any discomfort.
Sir, I receive with great joy the honor you do me. And I would have wished, sir, to be able to go to your house. To assure you. But now, sir,
to demonstrate our zeal to you. Come on, Thomas, step forward, pay your compliments.
Isn't it the father I'm supposed to begin with?
Yes.
Sir, I come to salute, recognize, cherish, and revere in you a second father, but a second father to whom I take the liberty of saying that I am more indebted to than the first. The first engendered me, but you have chosen me. He received me through necessity, but you have accepted me through kindness. I come today to pay in advance my most humble and most respectful homage.
Come, daughter. Greet the gentleman.
Do I kiss?
Yes, yes.
Madame, it is with justice that heaven has granted you the fair name of mother-in-law.
That's not my wife. That's my daughter you're speaking to.
Then where is she?
She's coming.
Do I wait, Father, till she comes?
Go ahead and pay your compliments to Mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle, no more nor less than the statue of Memnon gave forth a harmonious sound when it came to be lit by the sun's rays. Even so, I feel myself animated by a sweet transport at the appreciation of the sun of your beauties. And, as the naturalists note, that the flower named heliotrope turns incessantly toward the day star, so my heart shall henceforth always turn toward the resplendent stars of your adorable eyes. Mademoiselle, your most humble, most obedient, and most respectful servant and husband.
Hurrah for the schools which produce such able men!
What do you say to that?
That the gentleman does wonders, and that if as good a doctor as he is in order, it would be a pleasure to be a patient of his.
Oh, indeed. It will be something wonderful if he cures as well as he makes speeches.
My chair, quick. Seats for everyone. You sit there, Angelique. You see, sir, everyone admires your son. And I think you're very fortunate to have a boy like that.
Sir, it's not because I'm his father, but I may say I have reason to be pleased with him, and everyone who sees him speaks of him as a boy who has no wickedness in him. He's never had a lively imagination, nor that sparkling wit you find in some, but it is by this I've always augured well of his judgment, a quality required for the exercise of our art. When he was small, he never was what you'd call mischievous or lively. He was mild, peaceful, and taciturn. Never saying a word, and never playing all those little games we call childish. We had all the trouble in the world teaching him to read, and he was 9 years old before he ever knew his letters. All right, I used to say to myself, the late-growing trees bear the best fruit. You have much more trouble engraving on marble than on sand, but things are preserved there much longer. This slowness of understanding, this heaviness of imagination, it's a sign of good judgment to come. And what I like about him above all else and in which he follows my example, is that he attaches himself blindly to the opinions of our ancients, and he's never been willing to listen to or understand the reasonings and experiments of the so-called discoveries of our century about the circulation of blood and other opinions of the same ilk.
I have maintained a thesis, which, with the gentleman's permission, I make bold to present to Mademoiselle as an homage I owe her of the first fruits of my mind.
Sir, that's a useless article for me, and I'm no expert in those matters.
Give it here. It's always worth keeping for the picture. It will serve to decorate our bedroom, Angelique.
Also, with the gentleman's permission, I invite you to come one of these days to the dissection of a woman, on which I am to make a dissertation.
Well, that will be a delightful entertainment. There are some gentlemen who put on a play for their sweethearts, but to put on a dissection is a much more gallant thing. Keep that in mind.
For the rest, as regards the qualities requisite for marriage and propagation, I assure you that, according to the rules of our doctors, he is just as one could wish. He possesses the prolific virtue to a laudable degree, and is of the proper temperament to engender and procreate well-conditioned children.
Sir, isn't it your intention to push him at court and get him a position as a doctor there?
To be frank with you, our profession among the great has never seemed agreeable to me, and I found it better for us to stick to the general public. The public is easier to deal with. You don't have to answer to anyone for your actions. And, required you follow the current of the rules of our art, you don't have to worry about anything bad that can happen to you. What is annoying with the great is that when they get sick, they absolutely insist that their doctors cure them.
Well, that's a funny one, isn't it? They are mighty presumptuous to insist that you gentlemen cure them. You are not there for that. All you do is collect your fees. It's up to them to be cured if they can.
That's true. We're obliged only to treat people according to the proper forms.
Sir, have my daughter sing a bit for the company.
I was awaiting your orders, sir. It just occurred to me to sing for the company, a scene from Little Opera that was recently composed. Here, this is your part.
Me?
Please, don't refuse. I have no singing voice, but it's enough for me to make myself heard here, and you'll be good enough to excuse me because of the necessity I meant to have Mademoiselle sing.
Are the verses nice?
This is really a little impromptu opera, and all you hear sung is rhythmic prose, or a kind of free verse, such as passion and necessity can inspire in two persons who say what they say by themselves, and speak extemporaneously.
Very well, let's listen.
Fair Phyllis, too much pain have I. Break this harsh silence, tell me how you feel.
Turkis, you see me, sad and melancholy, confronted by this marriage that you dread.
Oh, lovely Phyllis, can it be true?
I've no defense in my extreme distress. Turkis, I love you, yes.
Oh, words full of delight. Alas, can I've heard all right? Say them again, Phyllis, and put my doubts to flight.
Turkis, I love you.
Begin 100 times and never tire.
I love you, I love you, I love you.
But your father's will can set your hopes awry.
I'd rather die than ever to...
No! What does the father say to all that?
He doesn't say a thing.
That's a stupid father. That father. To put up with all that nonsense without saying a thing.
Oh, my lord!
That's enough of that. Give me this paper. Where are the words you just sang? There's nothing written here but music.
Well, haven't you heard, sir, that they've recently invented a way to write the words with the notes themselves?
Very well. We could have gotten along very well without your silly opera.
I thought it would entertain you.
Stupid things aren't entertaining. Oh, here's my wife. My love. Here's the son of Monsieur Dearfoirus.
Madame, it is with justice that heaven has granted you the fair name of mother-in-law, since we see on your face...
Sir, I'm delighted to have come here at the right time to have the honor of seeing you.
Since we see on your face... Madame, you interrupted me in the middle of my sentence, and it has troubled my memory.
Thomas, save that for another time.
Honey, I wish you'd been here just now.
Well, you did miss a lot, madame. You weren't here for second father, flower named Heliotrope, and the statue of Memnon.
Come, daughter. Take the gentleman's hand and plight him your troth as your husband.
Father!
Well then, father!
I beseech you, don't hurry things. At least give us time to come to know each other and to see within us the birth of that inclination, which is so necessary to form a perfect union.
As for me, mademoiselle, it is already full-born in me, and I have no need to wait any longer.
If you are so prompt, sir, it is not the same with me, and I admit that your merit has not yet made enough impression on my soul.
Well. There'll be plenty of time for that to develop once you're married to each other.
Father, give us time, I beg you. Marriage is a bond that should never be imposed on a heart by force. And if this man is an honorable gentleman, he should not want to accept someone who belonged to him by constraint.
Nego consequentiam, mademoiselle. And I can be an honorable man and still be willing to accept you from the hands of your father.
That's a bad way to make someone love you. To do her violence.
You know, Angelique, it's no use your arguing. The gentleman is fresh out of school and he'll always have the upper hand. Why do you resist so and refuse the glory of being attached to the staff of the faculty?
Perhaps she has some other inclination in her head?
If I had, madam, it'd be such a one as reason and decency would permit.
I'm playing a very funny part here.
Well, if I were you, dear boy, I wouldn't force her to get married, and I know very well what I would do.
I know what you mean, madam, and the kindness you have for me. But perhaps your advice won't have the good fortune to be carried out?
That's because decent, well-behaved daughters like you laugh at being obedient and submissive to their father's will. It was better in the old days.
A daughter's duty has limits, madam, and reason and the laws do not extend to every kind of matter.
That is to say that your thoughts are all for marriage, but you wish to choose a husband to suit your fancy.
If my father won't give me a husband I love, I shall at least conjure him not to force me to marry another.
Gentlemen, I beg your pardon for all this.
Everyone has his aims in getting married. As for me, since I want a husband only to love him, and since I mean to attach myself entirely to him for life, I admit I want some precautions. There are some women who make of marriage a matter of pure self-interest, and who get inheritances and get rich from the death of the men they marry. Those women are not so particular and care little about who the person may be.
You're quite a reasoner today, and I'd very much like to know what you mean by it.
I, madam? What do I mean except what I say?
You're so stupid, my dear. It's really unbearable.
Madam, you'd like to provoke me into some impertinent reply, but I warn you that I won't give you the advantage to do so.
I've never seen the like of your insolence.
No, madam, it's no use your talking.
And you have a ridiculous pride, an impertinent presumption that makes people shrug their shoulders.
All that, madam, won't be no use. I'll be well behaved in spite of you. And to deprive you of being able to succeed in what you want, I'm going to remove myself from your sight.
Listen! There's no middle ground in this. Make up your mind to marry within 4 days either this gentleman or a convent. Don't worry, I'll bring her around.
I'm sorry to leave you, sweet boy, but I have business in town that I must attend to. I'll be back soon.
Go ahead, my love. But be sure to stop at your notary's so that he'll expedite you know what.
Goodbye, my darling.
Goodbye, my love. There's a woman who loves me so. It's incredible.
Sir, we're going to take our leave now.
I beg you, sir. Just tell me how I am.
Thomas, take the gentleman's other arm to see if you can make a good judgment about his pulse. Quidikis?
Dico, that the gentleman's pulse is the pulse of a man who is not well.
Good.
That it is a wee bit hardish, not to say hard.
Very good.
Beating strongly.
Bene.
And even a little capricious.
Optime.
Which indicates an intemperance in the splenic parenchyma. That is to say, the spleen.
Monsieur Pergon says it's my liver that's sick.
Oh, yes. If anyone says parenchyma, he means both, by means of the close sympathy of the vas brevae and often of the colodocal metasus. No doubt he orders you to eat a lot of roast meat.
No, nothing but boiled.
Oh, yes, roast, boiled, it's all the same thing. You have a doctor who prescribes prudently for you, and you couldn't be in better hands.
Sir, how many grains of salt should one put on an egg?
6, 8, or 10, in even numbers, like with medicine, in odd.
Goodbye, sirs.
Before I go out, dear boy, I've come to inform you about something you must watch out for. As I passed by Angelique's room, I saw a young man with her who ran away as soon as he saw me.
A young man with my daughter?
Yes, your little daughter Louisa was with them, and she can tell you some things about it.
Send her in, my love. No wonder she resisted so.
What do you want, Papa? Stepmother says that you're asking for me.
Come near. Come on. Well?
What?
Here now.
What, Papa?
Haven't you anything to tell me?
Well, if you want, I'll tell you the story of the ass's skin or the fable of the fox and the crow, which was taught to me recently.
That's not what I'm asking.
What then?
Is this how you obey me?
I beg your pardon, Papa.
Didn't I ask you to come and tell me right away anything you see?
Yes?
And have you done that?
Yes, Papa. I came and told you everything I've seen.
Haven't you seen anything today?
No, Papa.
No?
No, Papa.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
I'm going to make you see something.
Oh, Papa!
You didn't tell me you saw a man in your sister's room.
Forgive me, Papa!
No, I'm going to teach you to lie.
Oh, Papa, I ask your pardon. You see, Sister told me not to tell you, but I'm going to tell you everything.
No, first you've got to have a whipping for lying, and then we'll see about the rest.
Oh, Papa, don't give me a whipping.
You shall have it.
Please, in heaven's name, don't whip me.
No, no. Come here. Come here.
Papa, you hurt me. I'm dead.
Hey, what's this? Oh, Louison. Oh, my daughter is dead. What have I done, wretch that I am? Blast this switch. Plague take all switches. Oh, Louison.
There, Papa. Don't cry so hard. I'm not dead. Quite.
Oh, would you look at that little trickster? All right, I forgive you this time, provided that you really tell me everything.
Yes, Papa.
Anyway,
but don't tell Sister I told you.
No, I won't tell her, but make sure you tell me everything. For here's my little finger, which knows everything and will tell me if you lie.
Okay. Well, don't. The fact is, Papa, a man did come to Sister's room while I was there.
Well?
Well, I asked him what he wanted, and he told me he was her singing teacher.
Oh-ho! So that's the game. Well?
Well, then Sister came.
And then what?
And then, oh, she said to him, "Go, good Lord, go! You drive me to despair!"
And then what?
And then he didn't want to go.
What did he say?
He said I don't know how many things.
And after that?
And after that, he told her all this and all that he loved her dearly, and that she was the most beautiful girl in the whole world.
And after that?
And after that, he got on his knees before her.
And after that?
And after that, he kissed her hands.
And after that?
And after that, stepmama came to the door, and he ran away.
There's nothing else?
Nothing else.
But wait. Oh-ho! Yes. Here's my little finger saying that there's something that you saw and haven't yet told me.
It's lying, Papa!
Take care.
Don't believe it!
Okay. Run along now and keep your eyes out for anything. Oh, what a lot of troubles. There are no children anymore. I don't even have time to think about my illness anymore. I'm really done for.
Well, brother, what's up? How are you?
I'm very bad.
How's that very bad?
I'm so weak, you wouldn't believe it.
Oh, that's too bad.
I don't even have the strength to speak.
I've come, brother, to propose for you a match for my niece, Angelique.
Don't talk to me about that wicked girl! She's an impertinent, brazen hussy, and I'll put her in a convent before 2 days are up.
Well, I'm glad to see that your strength is coming back a bit. Would you like to have a little talk together?
Ooh. I'll be right back.
Sir, I believe you're forgetting that you can't walk without your stick. You're an invalid, sir.
That's right.
Yeah. Please don't abandon your niece's interests.
I'll do everything I can to get her what she wants.
It's absolutely necessary to prevent this ridiculous marriage he's taken into his head. You know, I had thought that it would be a good idea to bring in here a doctor of our own choosing, give him a distaste for his Monsieur Pogon, and disparage his methods. But since we've no one at hand for that, I've resolved to play a trick out of my own head.
How's that?
Well, it's a wild idea. Perhaps it will be more lucky than it is sensible. For your part, do what you can. Here's our man coming back.
Allow me, brother, to ask you, above all, not to get excited during our conversation.
That's settled.
To respond to anything I may say to you without any bitterness.
Yes.
And to reason with a mind detached from any passion.
Good Lord, yes. That's a lot of preamble.
How is it, brother, that with as much money as you have, and no children, save one, for I'm not counting the little one, how is it, I say, that you're talking about putting her into a convent?
How does it happen, brother, that I am master in my own home to do what seems good to me?
Your wife doesn't fail to advise you thus, and I'm sure out of a spirit of charity she'd be delighted to see them both become good nuns.
Oh, here we go. You've got my poor wife into it right away. She's the one who does all the harm around here, I guess, and everyone has it in for her.
No, let's let her be. She's a woman who has the best intentions for you and your family, free of any self-interest, and holds a marvelous tenderness for you, that's certain. No, let's come back to your daughter. What's your idea, brother, in having her get married to a doctor's son?
My idea, brother, is to give myself the kind of son-in-law I need.
But that's not the thing that's for your daughter, and there's a match out there that's much more suitable for her.
Yes, but this one's more suitable for me.
But should the husband she is to take be for her or for you?
He should be, brother, both for her and for me.
Will you always be infatuated with your apothecaries and your doctors? And do you intend to be sick in spite of everyone and of nature herself?
What do you mean?
I mean, brother, that I don't see one man less sick than you are.
So you don't believe in medicine, in the truth of a thing established by everyone, and which every age has revered?
No, in truth, I believe it one of the greatest follies there is among man.
Oh, what stupid arguments those are. Look, let's not talk about this anymore, for it brings on my sickness and rouses my bile.
I'm willing, brother, to change the subject. And I say, just because your daughter shows some slight opposition to this marriage, you mustn't make the violent resolve to have her put in a convent.
Brother, with your permission.
What? What do you want to do?
Take this little purgation. I'll be done soon.
Good Lord, brother. Can't you go one moment without taking a purgation? Put it off for another time and take a little rest.
Monsieur Flairant, I'll see you this evening or tomorrow morning.
What business is it of yours to oppose the proper prescriptions of medicine and to keep a man from keeping my purgation? Your audacity is mighty comical.
Come, sir, it's easy to see that you're not accustomed to talking to other people's faces.
A man has no business making fun of remedies and making me waste my time. I was here only on proper prescriptions. And I'm going to tell Mr. Pergon how I was kept from executing my orders and performing my function. You'll see.
Oh, brother, I think you're going to get us into trouble.
A great misfortune not to take a purgation that Monsieur Pergon prescribes.
You see, I have all these illnesses I don't know anything about in my head. And it even seems that I don't know what I'm doing.
But what illness do you have?
You're driving me crazy. If you were healthy, you wouldn't talk like that.
I just learned, ill at the door, a pretty piece of news, that people have made light of my prescriptions and have refused to take the remedies I had prescribed.
Sir,
that's a great piece of audacity, an extraordinary rebellion by a patient against his doctor.
It wasn't...
A purgation that I had taken pleasure in concocting myself, invented and fashioned according to all the rules of the art, that was to have a marvelous effect on the bowels, to send it away with disdain. It's an unconscionable act, a shocking attack on my son, a crime of laissez-faire which cannot be punished severely enough.
He did all the harm.
I declare to you that I am breaking off relations with you.
Oh, sir.
That I want no more family alliances with you. And that to end all deals with you. It was the donation I was making to my nephew in favor of the marriage.
Sir, it wasn't...
To disdain my purgation? I would have gotten you out of it next to no time.
Brother...
I was going to clean out your body and completely evacuate the evil humors.
No...
all I wanted was another dozen doses of medicine to completely empty the bottom of the sack.
Sir...
But since you will not be cured at my hands...
Oh, no.
Since... you have scorned from the obedience a man owes to his doctor.
Not at all.
And since you declared yourself a rebel against the remedies I prescribed,
sir, it wasn't...
I have these to tell you. That I abandon you to your bad constitution, to the intemperance of your bowels, to the corruption of your blood, to the bitterness of your bile, and to the turbidity of your humors.
Oh, good Lord!
And I will that before 4 days are up, you fall into an incurable state.
Oh, Monsieur
That you fall into bradypepsia.
Monsieur...
From bradypepsia to dyspepsia. From dyspepsia to apepsia. From apepsia to lientelli. From lientelli to dysentery.
Monsieur...
From dysentery to dropsy. And from dropsy to loss of life, to which your folly will have led you.
Brother! You've ruined me!
What? What's the matter?
Oh, I already feel the medicine taking its revenge.
Faith, brother, you're crazy. I wouldn't in the world want you to be seen doing what you're doing.
You heard all the awful diseases he described to me.
And what Monsieur Pergon says, what does that have to do with anything?
He says I'll become incurable in less than 4 days.
What a simpleton you are.
But he knows my whole constitution and the way I have to be treated.
I must admit, you're a man of great obstinacy, and that you see the world through a strange pair of eyes.
Sir, there's a doctor here asking to speak to you.
What kind of doctor?
A doctor of doctoring.
Who is he?
I don't know him, but him and I look very, very similar, and if I wasn't sure that my mother was an honest woman, I'd say he's some little brother she'd given me since my father's death.
Bring him in.
Well, brother, you're served to your heart's content. One doctor leaves you, another presents himself.
I'm very much afraid you're going to cause some great misfortune here again.
What? You're still coming back to that?
Oh, you see, I'm just so sick, and I have all of these things that...
Allow me to come and pay you a visit and offer you my services for any bleedings you may need.
I'm much obliged to you, sir. That's amazing.
If you don't mind, I forgot to give a note to my valet. I'll be right back.
That looks just like Toinette.
It's true that the resemblance is extremely great, but the histories are only too full of these freaks of nature.
I really still think it is Toinette.
Oh my gosh! What do you want?
What?
Didn't you call me?
No.
Oh well, my ears must have been burning.
Stay here a bit to see how much this new doctor looks like you.
Yes, indeed. I've plenty of business to do downstairs, and I've seen him enough.
If I didn't see them both in the same room, I'd think they were the same person.
I've read some fascinating things on the subject, and we've seen some in our time that have fooled everybody.
As for me, this one would have fooled me, and I would have sworn anything that it really was.
Okay, so allow me to ask forgiveness.
That's amazing!
If you please, you won't take amiss the curiosity I've had to see an illustrious invalid like yourself.
I'm much obliged to you, sir.
Why are you looking at me like that? How old do you think I am?
26 or 27.
I'm 90.
90?
Uh-huh. You see one effect of the secrets of my art? To keep myself fresh and vigorous in this way.
Here's a handsome young old man for 90.
I am a traveling doctor. I go from town to town and province to province, seeking illustrious subjects for my capacity. And I wish, sir, that you had all the modern illnesses known to man, so that I could show you the excellence of my remedies.
Thank you?
Give me your pulse. Okay. Beat properly. This pulse is trying to be impertinent. Who is your doctor?
Monsieur Pergon.
That man is not inscribed on my list among the great doctors. What does you say you're sick with?
He says it's the liver, others say it's the spleen.
They're all ignoramuses. It's in the lungs that you're sick.
The lungs?
Uh-huh. What are your symptoms?
Headaches.
The lungs.
Weariness.
The lungs. The lungs.
Sometimes
The lungs.
I have pains in my stomach as if I were a colic.
The lungs, I tell you. You have an appetite for what you eat.
Yes, sir.
The lungs. You like to drink a little wine.
Yes, sir.
The lungs. You feel tired after a meal and would be glad of a nap.
Yes, sir.
The lungs. What does he prescribe for your diet?
He prescribes soup,
Ignoramus.
poultry,
Ignoramus.
veal,
Ignoramus.
broths,
Ignoramus.
fresh eggs,
Ignoramus.
some little prunes in the evening as a laxative,
What?
and above all, to drink my wine mixed with a lot of water.
Ignorantus, ignoranta, ignorantu. You must drink your wine straight and to thicken your blood, which is far too thin. You must eat good fat pork and good Holland cheese to bind and conglutinate. Your doctor is an ass, and I mean to send you one of my own choosing.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, what the devil do you with that arm?
What?
That's an arm I've had put out right away.
Why?
Well, don't you see that it's disadvantaging that entire side and taking all of the nourishment for itself?
You can't cut off my arm. I need my arm.
Oh, that eye has got to go. It has to go immediately.
Put out an eye?
Uh-huh. Do you not notice that it is disadvantaging the left eye and keeping it from seeing well?
There's no hurry, is there?
Oh, no, there is. Anyways, I'm sorry to leave you so soon, but I've got to be at the consolation for a man who died yesterday.
For a man who died yesterday?
Yes, to see what should have been done to cure him. Goodbye.
There goes a doctor who seems very able.
Yes, but he goes about things really fast.
All doctors are like that.
Yes, they always cut off someone's arm and put out someone's eye to make them healthier. I'd much rather I wasn't healthy.
Come, I'm your servant. I'm not in the mood for fun.
What?
Faith, your doctor. He wanted to feel my pulse.
At 90?
Faith, brother, now that Monsieur Pergon is on bad terms with you, would you allow me to speak with you about the suitor who's seeking my niece's hand?
Don't talk to me about her, I told you. I see very well that there's some little love affair, at the bottom of all this. And I found out about a certain secret interview they don't know I found out about.
Even if there were some slight inclination, what would be so criminal in that?
Be that as it may, brother, she shall be a nun, and that's settled.
You're trying to please someone.
Oh, I understand you very well. You have my wife on the brain, don't you?
Yes, since I'm forced to speak openly about it, it is your wife that I mean. I can no more bear your infatuation with medicine than the infatuation you have with her.
Sir, do not speak of Madame in that way. She is a woman against whom there is nothing to be said. A woman without artifice who loves Monsieur well, it can't be put into words.
Just ask her how she caresses me.
It's true.
How worried she is about my illness.
Unquestionably.
And all the care she takes of me.
Certain. Would you like me to undeceive you, sir? Allow me to show him how childish he is, and show him right now how Madame loves you.
How?
She's just coming back from town. You will stretch out full length on this chair and pretend to be dead. You'll see what a grief is like when I tell her the news.
Okay.
You, corner, now.
Isn't there some danger in pretending to be dead?
No. What danger could there be? Just keep still. Here's Madame. Oh, no!
What is it, Tonette?
Madame!
What's the matter?
Your husband is dead.
My husband is dead?
Yes. The poor deceased has passed on.
Are you quite sure?
Quite sure. No one knows how it happened yet. I was here all alone. He just passed away in my arms.
Oh, heaven be praised! I am delivered from a terrible burden. How stupid you are, Tonette, to take on over his death.
Madame, I thought you ought to cry.
Oh, come. It's not worth it. What are we losing in him? And what good on earth was he? A man who was a nuisance to everyone, dirty, disgusting, always blowing his nose, spitting, coughing, devoid of wit, boring, bad-humored, and scolding all the servants day and night.
That's a nice funeral oration.
Tonette, you must help me carry out my plan. And believe me, your reward is sure. Let's carry him to his bed and keep this death quiet until I've done some business of mine. There are some papers and some money I want to get a hold of. It isn't fair that I should have to spend the best years of my life with him without some reward. Come on, Tonette. First, let's take his keys.
Oh, ha! So that's how you love me.
The deceased is not dead.
I'm very glad to see how she loves me now, and to have heard a fine panegyric about myself.
Well, brother, you see the way it is.
Upon my word, I never would have believed it. I hear your daughter coming back. Stretch out the way you were, and we'll see how she takes your death. That's not a thing that's bad to test out. And while we're at it, we can see the feelings the whole family has for you. Oh, no!
What's the matter, Tonette? What are you crying about?
Angelique, I have bad news for you.
Why? What?
He's dead. Your father's dead. Oh, my God.
My father is dead?
Yes!
Oh, what a misfortune. What a cruel blow. Alas, must I lose my father, the only thing left to me in this world, and moreover to add to my despair to lose him at a time where he was irritated with me?
Why? What's wrong, lovely Angelique? What misfortune is in your heart?
I'm weeping for the dearest and most precious thing I could lose in my life. I'm weeping for the death of my father.
Oh, heavens! What a calamity! What an unexpected blow, alas! After I'd implored your uncle to ask your hand of him on my behalf, I was coming to present myself to him, and to try to make his heart disposed to grant you to my wishes.
Oh, Cleante, let's not talk about that anymore. After the death of my father, I want no part in this world. I give it up, forever.
Oh, daughter.
Oh!
Oh, daughter. I'm very glad to see that you really do love me, and to see how good your nature truly is.
Oh, what a delightful surprise! And by extreme good fortune, heaven restores you to my love. Allow me here now to throw myself at your feet, to beseech you, and ask one thing of you. If you're not favorable to the inclinations of my heart, if you refuse me, Cleante, for a husband, I conjure you at least not to force me to marry another.
Ah, sir, let yourself be touched by her prayers and mine, and don't take a stand against the mutual ardor of such a fair inclination.
Brother, can you hold out against that?
Will you truly be insensible to this much love?
Let him become a doctor and I'll consent to this marriage. Yes, become a doctor, and I'll give you my daughter's hand.
Very gladly, sir. That's all that's needed to be your son-in-law.
But, brother, a thought occurs to me. Become a doctor yourself. The convenience would be even greater to have everything you need within yourself.
You know, sir, there is no illness so daring as to trifle with the person of a doctor.
But am I of an age to be a student?
Be a student? That's a good one. You're learned enough, and I bet there are many doctors out there no smarter than you are.
But you need to know Latin and Greek and the medicines and their cures and everything.
When you put on the cap and gown, you'll learn all that. And soon, you'll be even smarter than you want.
What? One knows how to discourse in medicine in that costume?
Yes. One only has to put on a cap and gown. All nonsense becomes reason, and all gibberish becomes learned.
Well, in any case, I'm ready for anything.
Would you like to have it done right away?
Right away?
Yes, and in your own house.
In my own house?
Yes. I have some friends on the faculty who have done it, who'll do it right here and right now at no cost.
But what am I to say and what am I to answer?
They'll give you instructions in a few words, and in writing what you have to say. Get along with you and get some proper clothes on. I'll go send for them.
What do you mean? And what do you have in mind with these friends on the faculty?
What's your plan, anyway?
To have a little fun this evening. I know some actors who are putting on a little play about a man becoming a doctor. And I want your brother to play the leading parts.
But, Uncle, perhaps you're making a bit too much fun of my father.
But, niece, it's not so much making fun of him as accommodating ourselves to his wishes. Yes, carnival times authorizes that. Let's go quickly now and get everything prepared.
Do you consent?
Yes, since my uncle is leading the way.
Sylvester, you just learned at the porch that my father's coming back.
Yes.
That he's arriving this very morning.
This very morning.
And he's coming back, resolved to have me married.
Yes.
To a daughter of Signor Geronte.
Of Signor Geronte.
And this girl's being sent from Taranto for that.
Yeah.
And you have this news from my uncle.
From your uncle.
To whom my father sent it in a letter.
In a letter.
And this uncle, you say, knows all of our affairs?
All of our affairs.
Oh, speak up, will you? And don't make me drag the words out of your mouth this way.
What more should I say? You have not forgotten a single circumstance, and you are telling things exactly as they are.
At least advise me. Tell me what I am to do in this cruel situation.
Faith, I'm just as stumped as you are. I could well use some advice myself.
This cursed return of his slays me.
And me, no less.
When my father learns how things stand, I shall see a sudden storm of vehement reprimands burst over me.
Reprimands are nothing. Would to heaven I could get off on that price. But for my part, it looks like I'll be paying more dearly for your follies. And from afar I can see forming a storm of cudgel blows that will break on my shoulders.
Oh, heaven, how can I get out of the scrape I'm in?
You should have thought about that before you got in it.
You kill me with your untimely lessons.
And you kill me even more with your scatterbrained actions.
Well, what can I do? What resolution shall I make? What remedy can I turn to?
What is it, Signor Octave? What's wrong with you? What's the matter? What is this disorder? I find you all upset.
Oh, my poor dear Scapin, I'm lost. I'm desperate. I'm the most unfortunate of all men.
How so?
Haven't you heard anything of my situation?
No.
Signor Geronte is returning with my father. and they want to get me married.
Well, what's so disastrous about that?
Alas, you don't know the cause of my anxiety.
No, but it's up to you whether I'm to know it soon. And I am a consolatory man, a man to take an interest in young people's affairs.
My dear Scapin, then if you could just find some device or forge some stratagem to deliver me from the distress I'm in, I'd think I owe you more than life itself.
To tell you the truth, there are few things impossible for me when I decide to get involved in them. Beyond a doubt, I've received from heaven a pretty fine genius for the fabrication of all those nice turns of wit, all those ingenious intrigues, to which the ignorant vulgar give the name of mischievous machinations. And I may say without vanity, that hardly a man has ever been seen who is an abler artisan of schemes and intrigues, who has acquired more glory than I in that noble profession. But faith, merit is too ill-treated today, and I've given up everything since the chagrin of a certain affair that happened to me.
How's that? What affair, Scapin?
An adventure in which I got into trouble with the law.
The law?
Yes, we had a bit of a tangle.
You and the law?
Yes, it treated me very badly, and I got so angry at the ingratitude of the times that I resolved not to do anything more. Enough of that. Go ahead and tell me your story.
You know, Scapin, 2 months ago, Signor Girante and my father embarked together on a voyage that concerns a bit of business in which their interests are involved together.
I know that.
And Leandre and I were left by our fathers, I under the guidance of Sylvester, and Leandre under your direction.
Yes, I have acquitted myself of my commission very well.
Sometime after, Leandre met a young gypsy girl and fell in love with her.
I know that too.
Since we're great friends, he immediately took me into the confidence of his love and took me to see this girl, whom I found to be beautiful indeed, but not as much as he wanted me to think her. He spoke to me of nothing but her, every day. At every moment exaggerated to me her beauties and her grace, praised her wit, spoke to me with ecstasy of the charms of her conversation, reporting it to me even to the slightest words, which he always strove to make me find the wittiest in the world. He would sometimes scold me for not being sensitive enough to the things he came to tell me, and blames me for the indifference I show towards the flames of love.
I don't yet see what all this is leading up to.
One day, when I was going with him to visit the people who watch over the object of his love, we heard in a little house on an out-of-the-way street some laments mingled with many sobs. And we asked what the trouble is. A woman tells us, sighing, that we could see something pitiable in the persons of some foreigners, and unless we were insensible, we'd be touched.
Where does that take us?
Curiosity made me urge Leandre to see what it was. We go into a room where we see a dying old woman, attended by a maidservant, and a girl all melting in tears, the loveliest and most touching girl anyone ever could see.
Aha!
And anyone else would have looked frightful at the state she was in. She had nothing but a wretched little petticoat and a night bodice of plain fustian, and on her head she had a yellow nightcap, turned down at the top, that let her hair fall in disorder over her shoulders. And yet, dressed like that, she shone with 1,000 attractions. There were nothing but beauties and charms in her whole person.
If you don't abridge this story, we'll be in for it until tomorrow. Let me finish it in a few words. His heart takes fire from this moment. He cannot live any longer unless he consoles his lovely sufferer. His frequent visits are often rejected by the maidservant who had become the governess on the mother's decease. He is told that the girl, without means or support, is of a decent family, but unless he is to marry her, his advances cannot be tolerated. His love is increased with difficulties. He mulls it over in his head, debates, makes his resolve, and now he's been married to her for 3 days.
I understand.
And also add, on top of all that, the poverty in which this lovely person finds herself, and my powerlessness to find the wherewithal to help her.
Is that all? You're both mighty hung up over a trifle. That's a fine reason for such alarm. You, aren't you ashamed to fall short in such a small matter? What the devil? Here you are, tall and husky as your father and mother, and you can't find in your head or contrive in your mind some gallant ruse, some nice little stratagem to set your affairs straight? Fie! Plague take the blockhead! I wish I had been given these old men of ours to make dupes of long ago. I'd have led them both round by the nose, and I was no bigger than this, when I was already distinguishing myself by 100 pretty tricks.
I admit that heaven did not give me the talents that you have, and I haven't the wit, as you do, to get myself embroiled in the law.
Here's my lovely Hyacinth.
Oh, Octave, Is it true what Sylvester has just told Noreen that your father is back and intends to have you married?
Yes, and this news is a cruel blow to me. But what is this I see? You're weeping. Why these tears? Tell me, do you suspect me of some infidelity? And aren't you certain of the love I feel for you?
Yes, Octave. I'm sure that you love me, but I'm not sure that you always will.
Oh, how can anyone love you and not love you all his life?
I've heard, Octave, that the ardors that men display to us are flames that burn out as quickly as they are kindled.
Then my heart is not made like those of other men. As for my part, I clearly feel that I will love you till the grave.
I want to believe you and trust that your words are sincere. But you are dependent on a father who wants to have you married to another, and I'm sure I will die if this misfortune happens to me.
No father can force me to break my word to you. And I shall be ready to leave my country and life itself if that be necessary rather than leave you. So please, my dear Hyacinth, don't weep, for I cannot see your tears without feeling my heart pierced.
Since you will have it so, I'll dry my tears, and I'll await with a steady eye whatever heaven is pleased to decree for us.
Heaven will be favorable to us.
It could not be contrary if you are faithful to me.
She is not such a fool, my word, and I think she's rather passable.
Here's a man who, if he would, could be a marvelous help to us in all of our necessities.
I have sworn great oaths to have nothing more to do with the world. But if you both ask me very persuasively, maybe...
Then I beseech you with all my heart to take on the direction of our little boat.
And you, have you nothing to say to me?
I beseech you just as he does, by all that is dearest to you in the world.
We have to let ourselves be overcome and have a little humanity. Go on. I'm willing to take a hand for you.
Rest assured that...
Hush! You go away and rest easy. And you, prepare to stand up firmly to meeting your father.
I admit that meeting makes me tremble in advance. I have a natural timidity that I cannot conquer.
However, you have to appear firm at the first clash, for fear that he may take advantage of your weakness to lead you about like a child. There, try to pull yourself together, a little boldness, and think how to give a resolute answer to anything he can say to you.
I'll do the best I can.
Here, let's practice a bit. Get used to it. Let's rehearse your part a bit and see if you will play it well. Come on, resolute face, head high, assured look.
Like that?
A little more still.
So?
Good. Imagine that I'm your father arriving, and answer me firmly, as if you were answering himself. What? Blackguard! Good-for-nothing wretch! Do you really dare appear before my eyes after the college of living radicals? You scoundrel! Is that the respect you retain for me? Answer me! Oh, what the devil! You stand there stupefied.
The fact is, I imagine it's my father I'm hearing.
Why, yes. That's the reason why he doesn't act like an idiot.
I'll be more resolute, and I'll reply firmly.
Sure?
Sure.
Here comes your father!
Oh, I'm done!
Stop! Octave, stay here, Octave! There, he's fled. What a poor specimen of a man. Let's wait for the old man anyway.
What shall I say to him?
Let me do the talking, and just follow my lead.
The nerve of them!
He's already learned about the affair, and has it so much on his mind that even alone he's talking about it out loud.
I'd really like to know what they have to say about this fine marriage.
We've thought about it.
Will they try to deny the thing?
No, we're not thinking of that.
Or suppose they undertake to excuse it?
That just might be done.
Will they try to put me off with wild stories?
Maybe.
All their speeches will be of no use.
We shall see.
They won't put anything on over me.
Let's not swear to anything.
I'll find a way to get my blackguard of a son put away in a safe place.
We'll take care of that.
And after that rogue Sylvester, I'll tan his hide.
I would have been mighty astonished if he'd forgotten me.
Aha! So there you are, fine governor of family, fine director of young people.
Sir, I'm delighted to see you back.
Hello, Scapin. You certainly followed my orders in a fine way. My son behaved very wisely indeed in my absence.
You're well, as far as I can see.
Pretty well. You're not saying a word, you scoundrel! You're not saying a word!
Did you have a good trip?
Oh, Lord, very good. Let me do a little scolding in peace.
You want to scold?
Yes, I want to scold.
Whom, sir?
That rogue there.
Why?
Didn't you hear what happened in my absence?
I did hear of some small matter or other.
What? A small matter? A thing like that?
You're somewhat right.
A piece of effrontery like that?
That's true.
A son who goes and gets married without his father's consent?
Yes, there's something to be said about that. But I would think you shouldn't make a fuss about it.
What? You don't think I have every reason in the world to be angry?
Yes, I do. I myself was angry when I learned about the thing, and I got involved on your behalf, to the point of scolding your son. No one could scold him better, even if it were yourself. But what then? I gave way to reason, and came to the conclusion that at bottom, he's not so much in the wrong as one might think.
What's this story you're telling me? He's not so much in the wrong to go out on the spur of a moment to marry a stranger.
What can you expect? He was driven to it by his destiny.
That's one of the finest reasons in the world. Nowadays, all one has to do is commit every imaginable crime, cheat, murder, steal, and say, for his excuse, he was driven to it by his destiny.
Good Lord, you take my words too much like a philosopher. I mean, he found himself fatally involved in this affair.
And why did he get involved?
Do you expect him to be as wise as you? Young folks are young, and don't have all the prudence they would need to do nothing but what's reasonable. Witness our Leandre, who, in spite of all my lessons, in spite of all my remonstrances, for his part, has gone and done something even worse than your son. I'd really like to know whether you yourself weren't young ones, and in your day didn't sow your wild oats like the rest.
That's true, I agree. But I always confined myself to gallantry, and I never went as far to do what he's done.
What would you have him do? He sees a young girl who wishes him well, for he takes after you in being loved by all women. He finds her charming. He pays her visits, sighs gallantly, acts passionate. She surrenders to his pursuit. He presses his good fortune. There, he's surprised with her by her relatives, who by main force oblige him to marry her.
What a clever trickster he is.
Would you have wanted him to let himself be killed? At least, it's better to be married than to be dead.
They didn't tell me this was how it happened.
Ask him then. He won't tell you the contrary.
Is by force that he was married?
Yes, sir.
Would I lie to you?
Then he should have gone immediately and protested against the violence of a notary.
That's what he wouldn't do.
Would have made it easier for me to break up this marriage.
Break up this marriage?
Yes.
You'll never break it up.
I'll never break it up.
No.
What? I shan't have a father's rights on my side and satisfaction for the violence they did to my son?
That's something he won't agree to.
You won't agree to it?
No.
My son.
Your son. Do you want him to confess that he was capable of fear and that it was by force he was made to do things? He's not going to admit that. That would be doing himself a wrong and showing himself unworthy of a father like you.
I don't care a rap about that.
He must, for his honor and yours, say wherever he goes that it was of his own free will that he married her.
And I, for my honor and his, want him to say the opposite.
No, I'm sure he won't do it.
I'll surely force him to.
He won't do it, I tell you.
He'll do it, or I'll disinherit him.
You?
I.
That's a good one.
What do you mean, a good one?
You won't disinherit him.
I won't disinherit him?
No.
No?
No.
Who'll stop me?
Yourself.
I?
Yes. You won't have the heart to.
I will.
You're joking.
I'm not joking.
Paternal tenderness will play its part.
Won't do a thing.
Yes, yes.
I tell you, this will be done.
Nonsense.
You mustn't say nonsense.
Good Lord, I know you. You're naturally good.
I'm not good, and I'm bad when I want to be. Let's end this talk. It's getting my bile up. Get along with you, you scoundrel. Get along with you and go fetch my rascal of a son. While I go join Signor Gerante and tell him my misfortune.
Sir, if I can be useful to you in any way, you have only to command me.
I thank you. Why did he have to be my only son? Why could I not have now the daughter whom heaven took from me so I could make her my heirs?
Sir, I admit that matters are going well. But on the other hand, we're pressed for money to live on, and we have people on all sides barking at our heels.
Leave it to me. The plot's hatched. I'm just casting it out in my mind for a man we can trust to play a part I need. Wait. Hold still a minute. Take a stand on one leg. Put your hand to your side. Get some fury in your eyes. Walk around a bit like a king in a tragedy. That's fine. Follow me. I know secret ways to disguise your face and your voice.
I admit, don't get me conjured up in the law.
Go on with you. We'll share the risks like brothers. And 3 years more or less in the galleys are not a thing to check a noble heart.
Yes, beyond a doubt. With this weather, we'll have our people here today. And a sailor who has come from Taranto has assured me he'd seen my man ready to embark. But my daughter's arrival will find things ill-disposed for what we had in mind. And what you've just told me about your son utterly breaks up the arrangements we had made together.
Don't worry about that. I guarantee to overcome the whole obstacle. I'll get to work on it right away.
Faith, Signor Gante. Shall I tell you what I think? The education of children is something that demands the hardest application.
No doubt. What's this all about?
About the fact that the bad behavior of young folk most often comes from the bad education their fathers give them.
That sometimes happens, but what do you mean by that?
What do I mean by that?
Yes.
That if, like a good father, you had brought your son into line properly, he wouldn't have played you the trick he has.
Very good. So you brought yours in line much better.
Yes, indeed. And I'd be very sorry if you'd done anything like that to me.
And what if this son whom, like a good father, you brought to the line so properly, had done even worse than mine, eh?
How's that?
How's that?
What does that mean?
That means, Signor Girante, that you mustn't be so quick to condemn other people's conduct. That those who should like to criticize should first take a good look at themselves to see if there isn't anything wrong with them.
I don't understand this enigma.
It will be explained to you.
Could you have heard something about my son?
That may be.
What then?
Your Scapin, while I was angry, told me a thing only in general, and from him or from somebody else you can get the details. As for me, I'm going quickly to consult a lawyer to see what course I am to take. Goodbye.
What can this business be? Even worse than his? As for me, I don't see what anyone can do worse. And I think that marrying without your father's consent is an action that goes beyond anything anyone can imagine. Ah, there you are.
Ah, Father, how happy I am to see you back.
Easy now. Let's talk business a bit.
Allow me to embrace you and...
Easy now, I tell you.
What, Father? You refuse to let me express my joy by my embraces?
Yes. We have something to straighten out together.
What?
Hold still. Let me look you in the face.
What?
Look me in the eyes.
Well?
Now, what's gone on here?
What's gone on?
Yes. What have you done in my absence?
Father, what do you expect I've done?
I'm not expecting you to have done, but I'm asking what it is you have done.
Father, I've done nothing that you've reason to complain of.
Nothing?
No.
You're quite certain?
That's because I'm sure of my innocence.
Yet Scapin has told me things.
Scapin?
Aha! That name makes you blush.
He told you something about me?
This place isn't a very good one to settle this affair, and we'll go into it someplace else. Get yourself home. I'll be back there shortly. Traitor, if you dishonor me, I'll renounce you as my son, and you can just make up your mind to flee my presence forever.
To betray me in this way. A scoundrel who, for 100 reasons, should be the first to conceal the things I confide in him, is the first to go and reveal them to my father. Oh, I swear to heaven this treachery should not remain unpunished.
My dear Scapin, what don't I owe to your efforts? What an admirable man you are, and how favorable heaven is to me to send you to my rescue.
Ah, there you are. I'm delighted to find you, Mr. Scoundrel.
Sir, your servant. You do me too much honor.
You're a bad comic. I'll teach
Sir,
you.
Andre!
No, Octavio, don't hold me back, please.
Sir.
Please,
let me satisfy my resentment.
In the name of friendship, Leandre, don't mistreat him.
Sir, what have I done to you?
What have you done?
There, gently.
No, Octave, I want him to confess to me himself the perfidy he has committed against me. Yes, you scoundrel, I know the trick you played on me, but I want to have your confession from your own mouth, or I'm going to run this sword through your body.
Sir, would you really have the heart to do that?
Then talk!
Did I do something to you, sir?
Yes, you scoundrel. And your conscience only tells me too well what it is.
I assure you, I don't know what it is.
You don't know?
Leandre!
Well, sir, since you will have it, I confess that my friends and I drank up that quarter cask of Spanish wine you were given a few days ago. And it was I who made a crack in the cask and poured water all around to make you think the wine had run out.
It was you, you blackguard, who drank my Spanish wine and were the reason I scolded my servant maid so?
Yes, sir. I ask your pardon for it.
I'm very glad to learn that. But that isn't the question now.
It's not that, sir.
No, you wretch. It's something else again that I want you to tell me about.
Sir, I don't remember doing anything else.
You won't talk?
Gently. Yes, sir. It's true that 3 weeks ago, when you sent me one evening to take a little watch to the young gypsy girl whom you love, I came back with my clothes all covered with mud and my face all bloody and told you I'd run into some thieves who'd given me a good beating and robbed me of the watch. It was I, sir. I'd kept it.
It was you? You kept my watch?
Yes, sir, so as to see what time it is.
I'm learning some pretty things here, and I certainly have a mighty faithful servant. But that still isn't what I'm asking.
It's not that.
No, you wretch, it's something else again that I want you to tell me about.
Confound it.
Speak up quick, I'm in a hurry.
Sir, that's all I've done.
That's all?
Hey! Well, sir, you remember that werewolf 6 months ago who gave you such a beating with a stick one night and nearly made you break your neck when you fell into a cellar as you ran away?
Well?
It was I, sir, who played the werewolf.
It was you, traitor? You played the werewolf?
Yes, sir, just to frighten you and to make you stop wanting to make us chase around every night as you used to.
I'll remember all I've just learned at the proper time and place. But I want to come to the point, and for you to confess to me what you told my father.
Your father?
Yes, you rogued my father.
I haven't even seen him since he got back.
You haven't seen him?
No, sir.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. That's something I'll get him to tell you himself.
Yet I have this from his own mouth.
By your leave. He didn't tell you the truth.
Sir, I bring you bad news of your love.
How's that?
Well, your gypsies are on the point of carrying off Zerbinette, and she, with tears in her eyes, charged me to come quickly and tell you that if you aren't minded to bring them the money they've asked of you for her in 2 hours, you'll lose her forever.
In 2 hours?
In 2 hours.
Oh, my dear Scapin, I implore you for your help.
Oh, my dear Scapin. I'm my dear Scapin now that I'm needed.
Go on. I forgive you for everything you've told me, and for even worse if you've done it.
No. Don't forgive me for anything. Run your sword through my body. I'd be delighted if you'd kill me.
No, rather I conjure you to save my life by serving my love.
Not at all. You do better to kill me.
You're too precious to me, and I beg you to be willing to use for me that admirable genius I can get around anything.
No, kill me, I tell you.
Oh, for heaven's sake, don't give any thought to all that, and put your mind to giving me the help I'm asking of you.
Oh, Scapin, you've got to do something for him.
How can I, after an affront like that?
I beseech you to forget my temper, and lend me your ingenuity.
I join my prayers to his.
I've taken that insult to heart.
You must give up your resentment.
Would you abandon me, Scapin, to the cruel extremity in which my love is placed?
To come and pay me, out of the blue, an affront like that.
I'm in the wrong, I confess.
To call me a scoundrel, a rogue, a blackguard, a wretch.
I'm just as sorry as I can be.
To want to run his sword through my body.
I ask your pardon for all that with all my heart. I'm on my knees, Scapin, to beseech you once more not to abandon me.
Oh, faith, Scapin, you must give in to that.
Rise. Another time, don't be so hasty.
Do you promise to work for me?
I'll think about it.
But you know that time is pressing.
Don't worry about it. How much do you need?
500 crowns.
And you?
200 pistoles.
I mean to get the money out of your father's. As for yours, the scheme is all found already. And as for yours, although he's a miser to the last degree, he'll need less doing yet. For you know that as to wit, thank God, he has no great provision of it. And I set him down as a kind of a man who you can always lead to believe whichever you like. No offense to you. There is no suspicion of a resemblance between him and you. And you know well enough where everyone's opinion is, that he's your father only for form's sake.
Easy now, Scapin.
All right. That bothers people a lot. Are you serious? But I see Octavius how they're coming. Let's begin with him, since here he is. Go away, both of you. And you. Notify Sylvester to come quick and play his part. Here he is, ruminating.
To have so little sense of behavior and consideration. To go and throw himself into an engagement like that. Ah, the witlessness of youth.
Sir, your servant.
Hello, Scapin.
You're brooding about your son's affair.
I must admit I'm frightfully upset about it.
Sir, life is mixed up with disappointments. It's a good thing to keep constantly prepared for them. And a long time ago, I heard a remark of one of the ancients that I've always remembered.
What?
That no matter how short a time the father of a family has been away from home, he should run his mind over all the accidents he may encounter on his return. Should imagine his house burned, his money stolen, his wife dead, his son crippled, his daughter seduced. And whatever he finds has not happened to him, impute it to good fortune. As for me, I've always practiced this lesson in my little philosophy, and I've never returned home without holding myself ready for the anger of my masters, for reprimands, insults, beatings, and whatever failed to happen to me, I thanked my lucky star for it.
That's all very well, but this foolish marriage, which interferes with the one we want to bring about, is something I can't endure. I've just consulted some lawyers to have it broken off.
Faith, sir, if you'll take my word for it, you'll try to settle the affair in some other way. You know what lawsuits are in this country, and you're going to plunge yourself into some pretty thorny business.
You're right. I see that well enough. But what other way?
I think I found one. I couldn't help feeling sorry for you just now, and that made me cast about in my mind for some way to get you out of trouble. For I can't see decent fathers that sit by their children without being moved, and I've always felt a particular inclination to your person.
I'm obliged to you.
So, I went to see the brother of this girl your son has married. He's one of those professional bravos, those people who are all sword thrusts, who talk of nothing but breaking someone's back, and who take more delight in killing a man than at swallowing a glass of wine. I got him going on this marriage, pointed out to him how easy it would be to have it broken off by reason of violence, the prerogatives of your title of father, and the support you would get before the law by your right, your money, and your friends. In short, I twisted him about so in all directions that he lent an ear to the propositions I made to settle the matter for a certain sum, and he'll give his consent to break off the marriage, provided you give him some money.
And what did he ask for?
Oh, at first, the sky and all.
Well, what?
Wild things.
But what?
He was talking of nothing less than 500 or 600 pistoles.
500 or 600 quarts of fever seize him. Is he trying to be funny?
That's what I said to him. I utterly rejected any such propositions, and I clearly gave him to understand that you were no dupe for him to ask you for 500 or 600 pistoles. Finally, after a lot of talk, here is what the rules of our discussion came down to. We're at the time, he said to me, when I must leave for the army. I'm busy getting myself equipped, and the fact that I need some money makes me consent in spite of myself to what is proposed. I need a regular horse, and I couldn't get one that's at all tolerable for less than 60 pistoles.
Oh, well, as for 60 pistoles, I'll give them.
I'll need the harness and the pistols, and that will come to 20 pistoles more.
20 and 60, that would be 80.
Exactly.
That's a lot, but so be it. I consent to that.
I also need a horse for my valet to ride, which will cost fully 30 pistoles.
What the devil? Let him walk! He shan't have a thing.
Sir.
No, he's out of line.
Do you want his valet to go on foot?
Let him go as he pleases, and his master too.
Good Lord, sir. Don't stick at a little thing like that. Give it all. Keep out of the hands of the law.
Oh, well, all right. I'll give those 3 pistoles too.
I also need, he said, a mule to carry.
What? Let him go to the devil with him and his mule. That's too much. It will go before the judges.
Please, sir.
No, that's too much.
Sir, it's a little mule.
I wouldn't even give him a donkey.
Consider it.
No, I'd rather go to the law.
Oh, sir, what are you talking about? What are you deciding? Cast your eyes over the devious course of the law. See how many appeals and degrees of jurisdiction, how many perplexing procedures, how many rapacious animals through whose claws you'll have to pass. Sergeants, attorneys, counsels, clerks, substitutes, reporters, judges, and their clerks. There's not one of all those people but is capable, for the merest trifle, of giving the best case in the world a slap in the face. A sergeant will serve false writs, on which you'll be condemned without knowing it. Your attorney will come to terms with your adversary and sell you out for hard cash. The reporter's clerk will purloin documents, and when you've parried all this, you'll be astonished that your judges will have been solicited against you. Oh, sir, if you can, save yourself from that hell. To be at loss to be damned already in this world.
How much does he reckon for the mule?
Sir, for the mule, his horse, his man's horse, the harness, and the pistols, and to pay a little matchery he owes his landlady, he asks in all for 200 pistoles.
200 pistoles?
Yes.
Let's go. We'll go to court.
Give it some thought.
I'd rather go to court.
Don't cast yourself.
I want to go to court.
But to go to court, you'll need money. You'll need it for the summons. You'll need it for registration. You'll need it for assigning the attorney, for appearance, counsel, evidence, and days spent by the attorney. You'll need it for the consultations and pleas of the lawyers, for the right to withdraw the briefs, for engrossing the documents. You'll need it for the substitute reports, including presence of the judge, for registration by the clerk, provisional decrees, sentences and arrests, roll signatures. Give this money to this man, and you're quit of the whole business.
What, 200 pistoles?
Yes, you'll gain by it. I've made a little calculation in my head of all the costs of justice, and I found that by giving 200 pistoles to your man, you'll have at least 150 left over, without counting the worries, the steps, and the troubles you'll spare yourself.
Oh, I don't care a rap about that.
You'll do what you please, but if I were you, I'd avoid lawsuits.
I won't give any 200 pistoles.
Here's the man you're talking about.
Just show me that man Argante, Octavia's father.
Why, sir?
I just learned that he wants to bring suit against me to have my sister's marriage broken off by Zola.
I don't know if he has that in mind, but he won't consent to the money you want, and he says it's too much.
Blood and guts, if he were here right now, I'd run my sword right through his stomach. Who is this man?
He's not the one, sir. He's not the one.
Isn't he a friend of his?
No, sir. On the contrary, he's his mortal enemy.
His mortal enemy?
Yes.
God, I'm delighted. You, sir, are the mortal enemy of that scoundrel Argante, huh?
Yes, I'll answer to that.
Shake on it, shake. I give you my word, and I swear to you on my honor, by the sword I wear, and all the oaths I can swear, that by the end of the day, I'll rid you of that errant rogue Argante. Rely on me.
Sir, in this country, violent acts are hardly tolerated.
I don't care about anything. I have nothing to lose.
He'll certainly be on his guard, and he has relatives, friends, and domestics, which he'll use for help against your resentment.
That's what I want. That's what I want. Blood and guts. Why doesn't he appear before my eyes with 30 people around him? What? You scoundrels have the temerity to attack me? Stop! Kill! No quarter! Up and at him! Strike!
There, sir. We're not in this.
That'll dare you to play tricks on me.
Well, you see how many people can be killed for 200 pistoles. Oh, come on. I wish you good luck.
Scapin?
If you please.
I've decided to give those 200 pistoles.
I am delighted for your sake.
Let's go find them. I have them on me.
You've only to give them to me. For the sake of your honor, you mustn't appear here after having passed here for someone other than you are. And furthermore, I'd be afraid that if you made yourself known, he might go and take it into his head to ask for more.
Yes, but I'd really like to know where I give away my money.
Do you mistrust me?
No, but...
By gad, sir. Either I'm a rogue or I'm an honest man. It's one or the other. Would I want to deceive you? If I'm suspect to you, I'll have no more to do with the whole thing, and you can go right now and look for someone to fix up your affairs.
Take it, then.
No, don't trust me with your money. I'll be perfectly glad for you to make use of someone else.
Good Lord, take it!
No, I tell you, don't trust me. Who knows whether I'm not trying to steal your money?
Take it, I tell you! Don't make me argue anymore. But make sure you get good security in dealing with him.
Leave it to me. He's not dealing with a fool.
I'll wait for you at my house.
I won't fail to go there. And that's one. All I have to do is find the other. Ah, my word, here he is. It seems as though heaven brings them into my nets, one after the other. Oh, heavens! Oh, unforeseen disaster! Oh, wretched father! Poor Durante, what will you do?
What can he be saying about me with that unhappy face?
Isn't there anyone who can tell me where Senor Durante is?
What's wrong, Scapin?
Where can I find him to tell him this misfortune?
What is it then?
In vain. I'm running around to try to find him.
Here I am.
He must be hidden someplace that no one can guess.
Stop it! Are you blind that you don't see me?
Ha, sir. There's no way to find you.
I've been right in front of you for an hour. What in the world is the matter?
Sir.
What?
Sir, your son.
Well, my son?
Has fallen into the strangest misfortune in the world.
And what's that?
I found him just now, quite sad, about something or other you said to him, in which you brought me in where I didn't belong. And, trying to divert this sadness, we went for a walk in the port. There, among many other things, our eyes were caught by a rather well-equipped Turkish galley. A nice-looking young Turk invited us to come aboard and gave us his hand. We went aboard. He offered us 1,000 civilities, gave us a collation, in which we had the most excellent fruit to eat that you ever could see.
What's so terrible about all that?
Wait, sir, we're getting there now. While we were eating, he had the galley put out to sea, and when he saw he was well away from port, he had me put into a skiff, and then sends me to tell you that if you don't send 500 crowns by me right away. He's going to take your son to Algiers.
What the devil? 500 crowns?
Yes, sir, and furthermore, he gave me only 2 hours for it.
That traitor of a Turk. To murder me in this way?
It's up to you, sir, to be thinking promptly about ways of saving from slavery a son whom you love with such tenderness.
What the devil did he go into that galley for?
He had no thought of what would happen.
Go along. Tell that Turk I'm going to send the police after him.
The police in the open sea? Are you trying to be funny?
What the devil did he go into that galley for?
Sometimes people are led by an evil destiny.
Here, in this, you must play the part of a faithful servant. You must.
What's that, sir?
You must go and tell that Turk to bring me back my son, and that you'll take his place until I've raised the sum he's asking.
Oh, sir, are you aware of what you're saying? And you suppose this Turk has so little sense as to go and accept a wretch like me in place of your son?
What the devil did he go into that galley for?
He didn't anticipate this mishap. Keep in mind, sir, he's given me only 2 hours.
You say he's asking?
500 crowns.
500 crowns? Has he no conscience?
Yes, indeed. A Turk's conscience.
Does the traitor really know what 500 crowns is?
Yes, sir. He knows that it's 1,500 francs.
Does he think you can pick 1,500 francs off a tree?
These are people who don't understand reason.
What the devil did he go into that galley for?
That's true, but what can you expect? Nobody could foresee these things. Please, sir, hurry.
Here, this is the key to my cupboard.
Good.
You'll open it.
Very well.
You'll find a big key on the left-hand side, which is to my garret.
Yes.
You'll go and get all the old clothes from the big hamper and sell them to the second-hand dealers and redeem my son.
Oh, sir, are you dreaming? I wouldn't get 100 francs for all you're talking about. And besides, you know how little time they gave me.
What the devil did he go into that galley for?
Oh, what a lot of wasted words. Forget that galley, and bear in mind that time is pressing and that you're running the risk of losing your only son. Alas, my poor master, perhaps I'll never see you again in my life. And at the moment I'm speaking, they're carrying you off to Algiers as a slave. But heaven will be witness that I've done all I could for you, and that, if you fail to be ransomed, the only thing to blame is the insufficient affection of a father.
Wait, Scapin, I'll go get that sum.
Then hurry, sir. Our trouble the army strike.
Wasn't it 400 crowns you said?
No, 500 crowns.
500 crowns?
Yes.
What the devil did he go into that galley for?
That's true, but hurry up.
Wasn't there any other walk to take?
You're right, back promptly.
Cursed galley!
He's got that galley on the brain.
Here, Scapin, I was forgetting that I just received 500 crowns, and I wasn't expecting to be snatched away from me so soon. Now go, bring me back my son.
Yes, sir.
But tell that Turk he's a villain.
Yes.
A wretch.
Yes.
A man of no faith, a robber.
Leave it to me.
That he's extorting 500 crowns from me, contrary to all right and justice.
Very well.
That if I ever find him, I'll have my revenge on him.
Yes.
Now go, bring me back my son.
Stop, sir!
What?
Then where's that money?
Didn't I give it to you?
No, really, you put it back in your pocket.
It's this grief that's confusing my mind.
So I see.
What the devil did he go into that galley for? Cursed galley! May all the devils in hell take that traitor of a Turk!
He can't stomach the 500 crowns that I'm tearing from him, but he's not quits with me yet, and I mean to have him pay me in another coin for the lie he told his son about me.
Well, Scapin, did you succeed in what you undertook for me?
Did you do anything to deliver my love from its misery?
Here are 200 pistoles that I got out of your father.
Ah, how happy you make me.
For you, I haven't been able to do anything.
I must go off and die. I've no use for a life that Zerbanet has taken from me.
Hold on. Gently. How devilish quick you go about things.
What do you expect me to do?
Come on, I have what you need here.
You bring me back to life.
But on condition that you allow me a little revenge on your father for the trick he played on me.
Whatever you want.
You promise me this before a witness?
Yes.
Here you are. Here are 500 crowns.
Let's take it and promptly go purchase the girl I adore.
Yes, your suitors have decided between them that you should be together, and we're carrying out the orders they gave us.
There's nothing about such an order, but that is very agreeable to me, and I accept such a companion with joy.
I accept the proposal, and I'm not the type of person who draws back when I'm approached with true friendship.
And when it's with love that you're approached?
Well, as for love, that's another matter. In that, you run a little more risk, and I'm not so bold.
I think you are now, against my master, and what he's just done for you should give you heart to respond to his passion as you should.
I trust in that only in a proper way. I'm always laughing, but for all I may laugh, I'm serious about certain matters, and your master will be mistaken if he thinks it's enough to have purchased me in order to have me entirely his own.
That's how he looks at it too. His intentions toward you are strictly fair and honorable.
That's what I want to believe, since you tell me so. But on the father's side, I foresee some obstacles.
We'll find ways to arrange things.
Alas, why must just inclinations be crossed? What a sweet thing it is to love when you find no obstacles to those lovely chains with which two hearts bind themselves together.
You're joking! Tranquility in love is a disagreeable calm. A uniform happiness becomes boring to us. We need ups and downs in life. And the difficulties that intermingle in our affairs awaken ardors and augment pleasures.
My goodness, Scapin. Tell us this story, which I've been told is so amusing, of the stratagem you used to extract money from your miserly old man.
Here, Sylvester, who'll handle it as well as I would. I have a certain little revenge in mind, and I'm going to taste the pleasure of it.
Why do you go out of your way to bring troubles upon your head?
I like to attempt hazardous undertakings.
All I'm saying is you'd give up your present plan if you take my word for it.
Yes, but it's my word I'll take.
What the devil are you going to play around at?
What the devil are you worrying about?
About seeing that, without any need, you run the risk of bringing a shower of blows upon your head.
Well, it's at the expense of my back, not of yours. This sort of risk has never stopped me, and I hate these pusillanimous hearts who see the consequences of things so well they don't dare undertake anything.
We'll need your help.
Go along. I'll come and join you soon. It shall not be said that with impunity I was placed in a position to betray myself and to reveal secrets that were better not known.
Well, Scapin, how goes my son's affair?
Your son, sir, is in a safe place, but now you yourself are running the greatest risk in the world, and I'd give a good deal for you to be at home.
Why? How's that?
At the very moment I'm speaking, they're looking for you all over to kill you.
Me?
Yes.
And who is it?
The brother of this person Octave has married. He thinks your plan to put your daughter in his sister's place is what is doing the most to break up their marriage. And with that notion in mind, he has openly resolved, taking his despair on you and take away your life to avenge his honor. All his friends are looking all over for you and asking for news of you. I even saw here and there some soldiers question the people they meet and occupying in squads all the approaches to your house. So you can't go home. You can't take a step right or left without falling into their hands.
What shall I do, my dear Scapin?
I don't know, sir, and this is a bad business. Wait.
What is it?
No. It's nothing.
Oh, Scapin, couldn't you do something to get me out of this trouble?
I can imagine one, all right, but I'd run the risk of getting myself well beaten.
Show yourself to be a zealous servant. Don't desert me, I beg you.
I'm willing to help. I'm too fond of you to leave you without help.
You'll have your reward for it, I assure you. And I promise you this suit, when I've gotten it a bit worn out.
Wait. Here's something I thought of. It's just right to save you. You must get into this sack and... No. It's no one. You must get into it, I say, and keep from moving in any way. I'll load you on my back, like a bundle of something or other, and that way, I'll carry you through your enemies, right into your house, and, when we're once there, we can barricade ourselves and send for assistance.
That's real ingenuity.
The best in the world. You'll pay me for the trick.
Sorry, what was that?
I say that your enemies will be properly caught. Get right down to the bottom. And above all, take care not to show yourself and not to move, whatever may happen.
Leave it to me. I'll manage to keep still.
Hide. Here's a cutthroat looking for you. But I won't have the advantage of to kill your Sarante and someone out of charity won't tell me where he is. Don't show yourself. So that I'll find him if he hid himself in the center of the earth. Don't budge. The man with the sack. Sir, I give you 1 louis and teach me where could be Gerante. You're looking for Senor Gerante? Yes, today I'll be looking for him. And on what business, sir? On what business? Yes. I want zounds to make him die of blows with the stick. Oh, sir. Blows with a stick are not given to people like him, and he's not a man to be treated in that way. Who is that fool Gerante? Is that rascal? Is that bum? Senor Gerante is neither a fool, nor a rascal, nor a bum, and if you please, you should change your language. But you treat me with that loftiness? I'm defending as I must, a man of honor who's being insulted. Are you a friend of this Gerante? Yes, sir, I am. Ah, you're a friend of his. Well and good. Here, this is what I give you for him. Go. Take him this from me. Farewell to you. The devil take that cast on. Oh.
Scapin, I can't go on.
Sir. I'm beaten black and blue, and my shoulders hurt frightfully.
How so? It was mine he beat.
No, sir. It was my back he was beating.
But I certainly felt the blows, and I certainly feel them still.
No, I tell you, it was only the end of the stick that reached your shoulders.
Then you ought to have moved away, but to spare me.
Watch out. Here's one that looks like a foreigner. Hey, guy. Me run around like a basque, and me no be able to find Ulte. That's table Charante. Keep all hidden. Tell me a bit, you, Mr. Man, if you please. You not know where's the Charante that me looking for? No, sir. I don't know where Charante is. You tell it to me frankly. Me have not much business with him. Just only to give him a little treat of a dozen blows on the back, mit your stick, and 3 or 4 little sword thrusts to his chest. I assure you, sir, I don't know where he is. It seems to me I see something muff in this sack. Pardon me, sir. There is assuredly some funny business in there. Not at all, sir. Me feel like giving 1 sword thrust in that sack. Ha, sir, don't need anything of the sort. You just show me a bit what that be there. Easy, sir. Who is that? Easy. You have no business wanting to see what I'm carrying. But me, I want to see. You shan't see. Aha! What a lot of trifling. These are old clothes that belong to me. You show me, I tell you. I'll do nothing of the sort. You do nothing? No. Me give this stick on the shoulders of you. I don't care a rap. You be joker. Gently! Gently! Goodbye. That be one little lesson to teach you to speak insolently. Plague take the jabbering fool. Oh.
I'm beaten to death.
I'm dead.
Why the deuce must I strike on my back?
Watch out. Here are 6 soldiers all together. Come on. Let's try to find that Charante. Let's look everywhere. Let's run through the whole town. Let's search every place. Let's turn that way. No, this way. To the left. To the right. No. Yes. Keep all hidden. Oh, comrades, here's his valet. Come on, you rogue. You've got that where your master is. Oh, gentlemen, don't maltreat me. Come on. Tell us where he is. Speak. Hurry up. Let's get a move on. Make haste quick. Promptly. Oh, gentlemen, gently. If you don't help us find your master right away, we'll rain the weight of casual blows upon you. I'd rather do anything than reveal my master to you. We'll beat your brains out. Do whatever you please. You really want to be beaten. I won't betray my master. You want the days. There.
You wretch! You traitor! You scoundrel! That's how you assassinate me!
I guess I'll get a breath of air.
You'll pay for this, I swear.
What a funny story. And what a fine dupe of an old man.
There's nothing funny about this, and you've no business making fun of me.
What? Who's thinking of making fun of you? This has nothing to do with you. And I'm laughing to myself at a story I've just been told. The funniest you ever heard of a trick that has just been played by a son on his father to get some money out of him.
By a son on his father? To get some money out of him? Pray tell me this story.
Destiny willed that I find myself among a band of gypsies who, roaming from province to province, involved themselves in fortune-telling and many other things. When we arrived in this town, a young man saw me and fell in love with me. He made his passion known to the people whose hands I was in, and he found them disposed to give me up for a certain sum. But he was a bit bare of money, and he has a father who, though rich, is an arrant skinflint and the meanest man in the world. Wait, I can't even remember his name. Hey, help me a little. Can you tell me the name of a man who's known in this town for being a miser to the highest degree?
No.
There's a Ron in his name. Ronte. Orante? No. Shay. Geronte, that's just it. To get to our story today, my sweetheart was going to lose me for want of money if, in order to get some out of his father, he hadn't found the help and the ingenuity of a servant he has. As for the servant's name, I know it perfectly. It's Scapin. He's an incomparable man and deserves all the praise that can be given.
You scoundrel!
But why aren't you laughing at my story? What do you think of all this?
I said that the gypsy girl in your story is an impertinent scatterbrain to insult a man of honor. That the servant is a villain who'll be sent to the gallows by Geronte before tomorrow morning.
What are you up to? Do you not realize that you've just been talking to your sweetheart's father?
I suspected so, and I spoke to him without thinking of that, and I told him his own story.
How's that his own story?
Yes, I was full of the story and burning to repeat it. But what does it matter? So much the worse for him. I don't see how things can either be better or worse thereby for us.
You had a great itch to babble, and a person has a loose tongue who can't keep quiet about his own affairs.
Wouldn't he have learned it from someone else?
Hold on, Sylvester.
Go back in the house. There's my master calling me.
So you were in it together, you, my son, and Scapin, to cheat me. And you think I'll put up with it?
Faith, sir, if Scapin has cheated you, I wash my hands of it. And I assure you that I'm not involved in it in any way.
We'll see about this business, you blackguard. We'll see about this business. I don't intend to be hoodwinked.
Signor Gante, you find me overwhelmed by misfortune.
You too find me in frightful despondency.
That blackguard Scapin, by one of his machinations, has gotten 500 crowns out of me.
That same blackguard Scapin, also by one of his machinations, has gotten 200 pistoles out of me.
He didn't content himself with getting 500 crowns out of me. He treated me in a way I'm ashamed to tell, but he'll pay for it.
I want him to give me satisfaction for the trick he's played on me.
And I mean to take exemplary vengeance on him.
Please heaven that I don't have my part in all of this.
But that's not yet all, Signor Gante. And one misfortune always leads to another. I was just today rejoicing in the thought of having back my daughter, in whom I place all my consolation. But I've just learned from my man that she left port a long time ago, and they believe she's perished in the ship she embarked in.
But why, pray, did you leave her at Taranto, and not have the joy of having her with you?
I had my reasons for that, and family interests always obliged me, up till now, to keep the second marriage very secret. But what's this I see? Ah, it's you, nurse.
Hi, Signor Fildo.
Please, call me Geronte, and don't use that name anymore. The reasons have ceased, which caused me to assume it among you at Taranto.
Alas, how many troubles and worries that change of name has caused us in our efforts to come and look for you here.
Where's my daughter and her mother?
Your daughter, sir, is not far from here. But before I let you see her, I must ask for your pardon for having gotten her married in the abandonment that I found myself in with her, for want of meeting with you.
My daughter married? And to whom?
Yes, sir. To a young man named Octave, son of a certain Signor Gante.
Heavens!
What a coincidence!
Take us to where she is. Take us promptly.
You have only to follow me into this house.
Go on ahead. Follow me, Signor Gante.
That's a really amazing adventure.
Well, Sylvester, what are our people doing?
I have two pieces of information to give you. First, that Octavia's affair is settled. Our Hyacinth has turned out to be the daughter of Signor Geronte, and chance accomplished what the two fathers had planned. But on the other hand, the two old men are making frightful threats against you.
That's nothing. Threats have never done me any harm. They are clouds that pass far above our heads.
Watch out for yourself. The two sons might very well make up with their fathers, and you'd be left in the trap for it.
Leave it to me. I'll find a way to appease their wrath and...
Get out of here, they're coming.
Come on, my daughter. Come to my house. My joy would have been perfect if I could have seen your mother here with you.
Here's Octave, just at the right moment. Come, my son. Come and rejoice with us at the happy adventure of your marriage.
No, Father. All your plans for marriage will be in vain. I must take off this mask with you. And you've been told of my commitment.
But you don't know.
I know all I have to know.
Signor Geronte's daughter.
Signor Geronte's daughter will never be anything to me.
She's the one...
No, sir. I ask your pardon, but my resolution is fixed.
Listen.
No! Be quiet! I won't listen to a thing.
Your wife.
No, I tell you, Father. I'd rather die than leave my lovely Hyacinth. Yes, no matter what you do, here is the one to whom my faith is plighted. I will love her all my life, and not have any other wife.
Well, she's the one I'm giving you. What a darn scatterbrain, always sticking to your point.
This is my father that we found, and our troubles are over.
Let's go back to my house. We'll have a better place to talk than here.
Father, I beg you as a favor not to have me separated from the charming person whom you see. She has a merit that, when you know it, will give you esteem for her.
You expect me to keep in my house a person who, just now, told me, to my face, 1,000 stupid things about me?
Sir, I beg you to excuse me. I wouldn't have spoken in that way if I'd known it was you. I knew you only by reputation.
How's that? Only by reputation?
Father, my brother's passion for her has nothing criminal about it, and I'll answer for her virtue.
That's certainly very fine. Wouldn't they have me get my son married to her? Unknown girl who's a streetwalker by profession.
Father, don't complain that I love an unknown girl without birth or property. The people from whom I purchased her have just revealed to me that she's from the city and of an honorable family, that it was they that stole her at the age of 4. And here's a bracelet they gave us which may help in finding her parents.
Alas, to see this bracelet, she's my daughter, my loss at the age you say.
Your daughter?
Yes. And I see clearly now all the features that make me assured of it.
Heavens, what a lot of extraordinary coincidences.
Gentlemen, the strangest accident has just occurred.
What?
Poor Scapin.
He's a scoundrel whom I want to have hanged.
Well, sir, you won't need to take the trouble for that. For as he was walking, a stonecutter's hammer fell on his head, broke the bone, and laid his whole brains open. He's dying, and he asked to be brought to speak with you before he died.
Where is he?
Well, here he is.
Gentlemen, you see me. You see me in a sad state. I didn't want to die without coming to ask for pardon from all the persons I may have offended. Yes, gentlemen, before I utter my last sigh, I conjure you all, with all my heart, to be willing to forgive me for what I may have done to you, especially Signor Argante and Signor Charante.
As for me, I forgive you. Go, die in peace.
It's you, sir, whom I offended most by the beating that I...
Say no more. I forgive you too.
It was a very great temerity on my part. The cudgel blows that
Let it go.
I have inconceivable sorrow in dying for the cudgel blows that I...
Good Lord, be quiet.
The unfortunate cudgel blows that
Be quiet, I tell you, I'm forgetting everything.
Alas, what goodness. But is it wholeheartedly, sir, that you pardon me the cudgel blows that...
Yes. Let's say no more about anything. I'm forgetting everything, and that's that.
Sir, I feel all relieved since those words.
Yes, but I forgive you on the condition that you die.
How's that, sir?
I take back my word if you get well.
There goes my faintness seizing me again.
Signor Gerante, for the sake of our joy, you must forgive him unconditionally.
So be it.
Let's all go to my place, the better to relish our pleasure.
And as for me, have them carry me to the end of the table while they wait for me to die.